In today's fast-paced business environment, teamwork has become the ultimate competitive advantage. Patrick Lencioni famously observed that not finance, not strategy, not technology, it is teamwork that remains the ultimate competitive advantage. Yet many leaders fixate on metrics and outputs while overlooking the relationships and behaviors that enable those results. As one corporate team building expert notes, we're moving at a relentless speed. What are the options for feeling more in control? One way is to examine performance beyond metrics and have the team assess its performance across the five behaviors model. In other words, a team's success depends not just on individual skills, but on how people work together. Lencioni's five behaviors of a cohesive team model give leaders and HR professionals a clear roadmap. Trust, conflict, commitment, accountability, and results are the building blocks of any high-performing team. In the following sections, we explain each behavior, show how they contribute to success, and illustrate how tools like 360-degree feedback HR leaders can help teams develop these behaviors. Lencioni's model depicts the five behaviors as building blocks in a pyramid. Trust, conflict, commitment, accountability, and results. Each behavior is foundational to the next. Teams cannot achieve lasting results even if one behavior is missing or weak. Here's why each matters. At the base of Lencioni's model lies trust, but not just any trust. It's vulnerability-based trust. This is the confidence that team members can be open and honest without fear of judgment, retaliation, or embarrassment. In teams where people feel safe being vulnerable, colleagues freely admit mistakes, ask for help, share weaknesses and uncertainties, and voice unconventional ideas. This level of openness accelerates learning, diminishes guarded behavior, and lays the groundwork for healthier conflict and deeper collaboration. Teams without trust stall. If employees are worried about how they'll be perceived, they hold back, hiding concerns or pretending everything is fine. This dynamic undermines creativity, slows decision-making, and ultimately reduces performance. A 360-degree feedback tool, like Launch360, gathers input from multiple stakeholders, offering a more complete picture of team behavior rather than traditional top-down reviews. Because feedback is collected confidentially from peers, direct reports, and supervisors, people feel safer giving honest responses, which builds trust by encouraging openness over time. By giving employees insight into how others perceive their behaviors, Launch360 begins the trust-building process with actionable, non-judgmental feedback. The second part of Lencioni's model is conflict, which welcomes productive disagreement. If trust is present, teams can engage in productive conflict, which is not personal tension, but healthy debate centered on ideas. When conflict is approached constructively, ideas are challenged without fear or defensiveness, diverse perspectives are shared and considered, decisions become well-informed and robust, and people feel heard even if their idea isn't chosen. Lencioni famously said, "You can disagree all you want, but at the end of the meeting you will commit and walk out on the same page." When conflict is avoided, weaknesses and risks are never aired. Decisions lack depth, leading to fragile outcomes. A 360-degree feedback tool helps in identifying patterns in how individuals engage in conflict. For example, are they avoiding difficult conversations? Do they dominate discussions? And are they respectful but assertive? Launch360 synthesizes multi-rater feedback into visual reports that highlight strengths and gaps related to conflict behaviors. This makes it easier for team leaders to facilitate learning experiences that normalize healthy debate and reduce fear of disagreement. Once ideas have been debated openly, the team needs to move forward, and that requires commitment. Commitment in Lencioni's model is not the same as consensus. A team may not agree on every choice, but once a direction is selected, everyone understands it, everyone supports it, and everyone follows through publicly and privately. A committed team doesn't just comply. They engage with the plan because they understand the reasoning behind it. Clarity and objectives also matters. Teams that document decisions, establish measurable goals, and articulate expectations are far more likely to execute well. Launch360's 360-degree feedback assessments help clarify whether team members feel understood and aligned with team decisions. Insights from this feedback highlight areas of ambiguity, reveal misaligned perceptions, and identify where expectations aren't clearly communicated. When leaders use these insights to refine how they set goals or communicate decisions, commitment naturally improves. Trust and commitment pave the way for peer-to-peer accountability, where team members hold each other responsible for performance and behavior, not just the boss. Accountability matters in cohesive teams so that people can address performance issues early, peers offer constructive feedback routinely, there's shared commitment to standards, and everyone contributes to team success, not just their own. Feedback becomes frequent and timely, not just reserved for annual reviews. Regular check-ins, defined commitments, and visible progress tracking ensure accountability is consistent and meaningful. Launch 360's feedback tool encourages accountability by prompting performance reflection from multiple angles. Leaders and employees alike can review feedback from past projects, measure progress over time, and set concrete areas for improvement. Because feedback is collected across multiple raters, it becomes easier for team members to see where accountability is slipping and take steps to correct it. When trust, conflict, commitment, and accountability are strong, teams naturally arrive at the final behavior, results. Results aren't just outputs, they are shared achievements, measurable progress towards goals, collective performance metrics, and celebrated wins that belong to the team. At this stage, individuals place team success before personal recognition. This mindset fuels organizational performance, from higher productivity and innovation to stronger customer outcomes. Launch 360 enables teams to tie assessment results directly to performance metrics. Leadership behaviors are measured alongside team effectiveness, providing benchmarks of improvement, clear connections between behavior and outcomes, and accountability that spans performance and purpose. Results emerge not from blind productivity pushes, but from intentional behavioral development supported by consistent feedback. Understanding the 5 behaviors is one thing, applying them is another. Here's a breakdown of how these behaviors drive real team and business success. Aligning goals and objectives, teams clarify expectations and link individual work to organizational strategy. Consistent feedback, via tools like Launch 360, reinforces alignment. Enhancing communication and collaboration allows open dialogue, which reduces silos. Feedback normalizes communication, strengthening respect and cooperation. Leveraging strengths and skills, multi-source perspectives help identify true strengths. Teams assign roles that maximize talent and satisfaction. Fostering accountability and ownership, peer feedback accelerates responsibility. Teams hold each other to commitments, reducing dependence on managerial oversight. With continuous learning and development, regular feedback becomes a development rhythm. Leaders coach based on real insights rather than assumptions. Encouraging innovation and problem solving allows constructive conflict, which sparks creative ideas. Feedback tools encourage experimentation and learning from mistakes. Building a positive work culture, psychological safety increases engagement and retention. Feedback fosters recognition, inclusion, and shared purpose. Lastly, driving business impact. Cohesive teams deliver better customer outcomes. Strong team behavior correlates with higher financial performance and operational efficiency. A well-built 360-degree feedback tool like Launch 360 does more than collect opinions. It offers role-specific feedback where insights are gathered from everyone who works with an employee, not just the manager, provides confidential, actionable reports, as it increases honesty, and intuitive dashboards make feedback understandable, tracks progress over time, with recurring assessments showing behavior change, not just snapshots, enhances coaching conversations with leaders that can facilitate deeper development discussions backed by data and not impressions, and supports organizational alignment, where teams can see how their behaviors support strategic outcomes, leading to more intentional performance. Teamwork is not an accident, it's intentional. Trust, conflict, commitment, accountability, and a relentless focus on results are the DNA of high-performing teams. But understanding these behaviors is only the start. To truly strengthen team cohesion requires deliberate action and the right tools. A 360-degree feedback tool like Launch 360 empowers HR professionals and team leaders to build a culture of openness, learning, and performance. By diagnosing strengths and gaps across the 5 behaviors, organizations can create targeted development plans that improve team dynamics, accelerate performance, and drive measurable business results.